A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, The Twin Flame Union. This channel and all the other work I do, it's completely based on spreading unconditional love on the planet, because in the past few years, the unconditional love has decreased a lot, and instead of that, narcissism has increased and gone to a very high level, because of which many ascensioners are suffering today. And they also suffer because they pick up wrong practices from the narcissist adults who have raised them, and they suffer more. If you understand in simple words, when does a person suffer? You always suffer when you go against your nature. As a star seed, as a twin flamer, as a light worker, your nature since birth, by birth, your soul is not made in such a way, it is not designed in such a way, or you can say the energy of the soul is such that it only wants to love, 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 love. And the meaning of love is give, 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 give. In the world of the narcissist, love means to get, not give. They are simply takers. And this is the reason why when a divine feminine or a divine masculine, they fall in love with a narcissistic person, they get tired of giving to them, because there has to be a balance. With the narcissistic also, you need to create a balance of giving and getting. Initially, in some cases, if it's a rich, wealthy narcissist, they would give also. They would give a lot of gifts. They would, treat you well or take you out and then, put you into that habit and then discard you later on. I can teach you all how to live with a narcissist. If you have fallen in love with a narcissistic person, or you have adults or people around you who are narcissists, but you have to still live with them, because this world is full of narcissistic people. Everybody has a little bit of narcissism in them, but you have to live with it and you have to give also. The balance of giving and receiving is extremely, extremely, extremely important. Those people who only give, they are also slightly unhappy. Although in my dictionary, if you ask me, if you have connection with the source, because see, you are then receiving from the source. Then too you are receiving, but you are receiving from the right person or the right being. The Supreme Being, when the Supreme Being gives you energy, you receive energy from the Supreme Being and then you distribute it to the whole world or to anybody who needs it. Okay? Then also you are receiving and giving. But you as a person needs to then know who to receive it from. If you receive it from the wrong places, like the narcissistic people, they receive energy from the devil. And devil's nature is to backstab. That is the reason why it is devil or it is evil, because its nature is to backstab, its nature is to manipulate, its nature is to make a fool out of people. So many of these celebrities and famous people, unknowingly or knowingly, they make a pact with the devil. Why? Because devil is all about me and devil is all about the ego. Okay? They make a pact with the devil tells them that I'll make you famous, I'll make you rich, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. And they make the pact. And most of the times it's about fame, because wealth is something which many people have. Wealth is not a big deal. If you have a sharp mind and if you have abundance consciousness in you, you can also become wealthy, not a big deal. But fame is something that most people crave for. I should be popular, I should be famous, everyone should know me, I should have followers everywhere. This is a sign of a narcissistic person. Okay, and then they will suffer day and night, because all they have to do is they have to work on that image, because they always sell the image. You cannot sell your own self, because throughout the day you can't be perfect. When you wake up in the morning, you will have little bit of soggy eyes, you will have little bit of tiredness, your hair will be messy, you have to brush your teeth, your bad breath is there, you want to go to the toilet first. First thing in the morning one person does is goes to the toilet. So these are all the activities which the narcissist, normal activity, human activity, narcissist cannot show to others. If they will show anything to others, they will want to make it cute. How cute this is. So anyway, I will come to the energy of today's channeling or this channeling, because we have so many channelings lined up due to the Lionsgate portal, I could not do many of the channeling. So it's literally like there are piled up channelings are there. But in today's channeling, the subject is, this channeling is about the masculine and the feminine. Once again, opposite polarity channeling is there. So not giving into tantrums, which means putting other people on pedestal, versus understanding the position and struggles of other people. So when one of these people, who is the feminine and the masculine, why I'm saying feminine and the masculine both, because feminine also receives something from the masculine. When the masculine ill-treats her or stops talking to her or blocks her. And there is another channeling, very interesting channelings have been coming up in lately. One of the channeling is fed up of being the one who always tries to make the relationship work versus healed communication. So sometimes when people get fed up from you, then also they block you. People think that blocking only happens because the divine masculine is a bad person or he wants to use the feminine. Maybe that point is there too, but they also do it when they are fed up of the feminine. They cannot handle the intensity, the emotional, all the emotional things that feminines do. They have not been raised to deal with those things. They are raised to be happy, relaxed, chilled out. They cannot take all of this. So they get fed up of her because even though they love her or even though they like her, but they don't like all the grudges she has from her past. Because technically the feminines also don't know that they really genuinely need to do inner work until and unless the masculine doesn't walk out on them. Before that, their life goes on. Before that, they do inner work, but the actual inner work, the sharp inner work, the edgy inner work will only start when the masculine will block them, dump them, ignore them, and she will try everything from her end, but it will not work out. She will call him up, message him, if she'll try to meet him, she'll tell him everything, she'll show all the emotions that she can. But he does not want to listen. Why? Because he's fed up. Is it his fault? Maybe 50% it's his fault, but till the time you don't take 100% responsibility of your own actions and your own life, things cannot change. So the feminines also change after that, which is a good thing. For the journey, in the growth perspective, in the ascension journey, it's a very good thing. Otherwise our eyes will never open up to this reality. Be it a runner or be it a chaser. And when she grows immensely, beautifully, she becomes spiritually mature and she starts understanding why all of this is happening. It's happening because of what I went through and I was upset about it. I could not trust, I could not love fully also, and that's the reason why when you don't love fully, you're extremely emotional. That's why we want the feminines to become practical, not emotional. Now I will share this channeling also and I will talk about this in detail. But in this channeling, I will first come to the pedestal problem, putting people on pedestal, taking care of the tantrums, because this is another reason why the masculine runs away. Because the feminine puts him on the pedestal and she starts to treat him like God. But he is not God at that point. The divinity factor is very low. And when the divinity factor is so low and somebody treats you like God, you don't like it. It's not easy to be like God or be in God's position, right? Or in some cases, he is more awakened at that point in time and he does not like this type of behavior. He doesn't understand why she is so enamored by him or why she's doing all of this. And that too, she's not doing it fully. She's doing it in half format, like 50% she will do it. She's doing 50% because she's scared and she doesn't know exactly what's happening. So all of this dance and dynamic is actually a very, 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 very positive thing, a very uplifting thing for a person. People don't understand it till they don't learn to surrender. So this is the reason why I always say to people, please surrender. Get out of runner-chaser dynamic. Interestingly, when I shared my channeling and guidance message, if you are chasing it, it's not love. It was shared 21 hours ago as per now, okay? Now, when I shared this channeling, there were some people who got very triggered with it. They started writing all type of nonsensical things to me. Hey, what type of channeler are you? Please share correct information. You always said that runner is this, chaser is this. And somebody wrote, this lady has a superiority complex. She doesn't understand anything. What is your problem? You know, these type of things. Why they got so triggered? Because they don't want to quit chasing. If the chaser does not stop chasing, whose problem is it? Tell me. It's their problem. They will suffer intensely and immensely. They will continue to chase for 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, because chasing doesn't only happen physically. Chasing happens mentally. And what you do mentally is more powerful than what you do physically. In fact, physical energy is coming from mental energy. And this is the reason why I tell people to get into therapy. It's people's wish if they want to get into therapy or not. It's up to them. We also did our therapy. We also spent so much on it. We also invested so much time, money, efforts on it. Some people think, I have noticed this, some people think that if they go to a therapist and they pay fees to the therapist is sitting with a magic wand that they will move on them, and I don't need to do anything, I don't need to do any inner work, I don't need to make any effort. Whatever assignments the therapist is giving to me, it can go to hell. I don't want to do it. They tell me that I don't want to do the assignment, just heal me. Just heal me from India, like, send me those positive energies. These are the things that other healers say and do, and people get fooled by them, people get conned by them because nothing changes. What we tell you in therapy is that you need to do certain things. You need to do certain type of inner work. Because if you are not going to do inner work, your mental energy will not change. Till the time you don't change subconsciously in your head, in your mind, how do you expect your life to change? Then there are some people, they expect, okay, I'll take one therapy session or one course or something and I will change fully. Even that doesn't happen. Because imagine how much baggage you have. You have baggage of 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. You have abuses, you have gone through problems, you have gone through separation, you have gone through abandonment, you have gone through neglect. You've been in bad relationships, all that energy, you had sex with so many people, or you ate so much meat, you drank so much alcohol, you smoked so many cigarettes. I don't say that everything is wrong if it is done in, and I'm talking about smoking and I'm talking about drinking. When it comes to eating meat also, I can say that eventually you will leave all of it. But when you have sex with so many people, the energy stays in your DNA. It doesn't go that easily. And when you have sexual relationships with narcissistic people, psychos, or you are psycho and they are giving love to you. Because at one point, all ascensioners have certain psychotic symptoms. It's because of inner work, constant inner work, they heal. And when they heal, finally they fall into the twin flame journey. And by the time they have started giving. But they cannot give fully also because they still have the wounds. And I'm not saying that everyone is a psycho. In fact, being a psycho is a very normal thing. In today's world, you leave 10 houses, there will be one psycho. In olden times, it was 25 houses, one psycho. Now it is 10 houses, one psycho. Why? Because narcissistic people have increased so badly and so with huge numbers. This is the most narcissistic generation that we are living in. Hopefully it should change in the coming few time when the ascensioners will increase, the earth will go in higher energies, it will change. So the more narcissism the children are bound to become psychos. Why? It's not their fault. You think it's their fault? And one of the best way, the day a psycho says, I want to heal, I want to get into therapy, that's the time they will change. Before that, no one will change. Because no person who has a mental problem or a mental disorder will admit that they have a mental disorder. And do you know the reason why narcissistic people cannot heal? Because a narcissistic person never thinks there is anything wrong with them. So from that perspective, people who want to heal, people who want to get into therapy, they are actually not narcissistic, or they want to end the narcissism in them, or they want to end the psychotism in them. Okay? These are very simple things, if you think about it, you will understand the value of it. If you say that I want to heal, that means you are working on yourself. And that means you consider this fact that you could have flaws. You could also be wrong. Even the people who take 100% responsibility of their own actions, these are the only people who are going to heal, and these are the only people who will heal the templates they have in their reality, the templates they are born to heal. And they will then start noticing that, okay, this person is my family, has a little bit of psychotic issues, this person in my family has narcissism, this person in my family is a spiritual person, this person is a giver, this kid is an animal lover, this kid is a nature lover, this person is this lady is this. They will know it, and they are not going to judge them, because trust me, this judgment was gone when they themselves accepted that I need to heal. Because when you look within yourself, you understand that I am blaming the whole world, but this energy is coming from me. I am responsible for this energy, and nobody else can heal it or fix it until and unless I want to. So from a therapist perspective, you give me your fees, you give me your money, doesn't matter to me. I tell people in the very beginning, don't give me just your fees, please. And I'm not your slave. I'm not your slave, and I'm not your guru or some great, I don't know, some, how they say in Hindi, some very Mahan person. No. This is my job, and when I'm doing my job, I need your effort too. Without your effort and without you wanting to change, you willing to change your life, what can I do? I can't do anything. And so many times it happens that I really get troubled, because some people start throwing these tantrums onto me also, and I know that they are suffering from the narcissistic abuse, but the problem is that they are very attached to this runner-chaser dynamic. They don't want to let it go. There is a certain addiction in runner-chaser dynamic also, and that's the reason why people get triggered. In the comments, they are getting so triggered, so angry, as if I have said something so difficult to digest for them. Because I said, if you are chasing it, it's not love. And they don't want to hear these type of words. That if you are chasing, that means if I am a chaser, whosoever I am chasing, that is not love. Oh my God, how can this therapist or this healer or this whatever channeler could say this? How dare she? How dare she tell me that I am not in love? This is the problem. My friends, chasing and running after somebody is never love. You know what love is? Love is being content. Love is being relaxed. Love is being happy. Love is being forgiving. Love is not getting affected from other people's negative energies and emotions. Love is so beautiful. How do you describe love in one word? What they try to do in the television, in the media, in the movies, they try to show love as some kind of stupidity. Stupidity of the highest order. Mental disorder. Is this love, that you only look at a person's face, their clothes and their body and say, oh, I love this person, I want this person? No, that's not love. Love is to love people for their soul, not for their face or for their body. And many a times it happens, the DM also falls in love with the soul of the feminine. And so many people have gone through this. They fall in love online. So when you fall in love online and you've been talking to someone for 2 years or 3 years, you haven't met but you talk to each other every day. There are some people who are in long distance relationship also. In the media world, they say long distance relationships don't work. But actually these long distance relationships are very beautiful. Why long distance relationship cannot work? I don't understand. What is the logic behind it? Don't we go into the situations where we are in a long distance? For example, there is a mother and a child, they both love each other. Or say a family where there are parents and there is a child and they love each other a lot. But the child has to go to another country or another city to study. Okay? So they raise the child very well and then they send the child to a hostel or to a boarding school or somewhere else, say for 2 years or 3 years. So in those 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, will the love diminish? No. Now once the child who has this habit of living alone, living away from home, this person comes back to their house, they face difficulties. But do they stop loving their parents? No. Do they stop being responsible? No. And these type of parents are actually more independent than other people. Why? Because they don't cling on to the child, they don't hold on to the child, they want the best for the child. So they feel that, okay, if my child is going to remain here in this place, they are going to be stuck, so let me send my child to some college or some university or some school where the child will explore, the child will go out of this well, the child will not be stuck in a well. In olden days, all parents, be it a king, be it a queen, be it a pauper, be it a businessman, be it a farmer, all of them used to send their children to Gurukul after a certain age. Because this age is very important. During the childhood, during the early years, the child should always be closest to the mother. Whosoever has the mother energy, whosoever has the nurturing energy, the child should be closest to them, so that the mother can hug the child, so that the mother can kiss the child, so that the mother can hold the child all the time. The more of this affectionate love they get, the less they will be hypersexual and the less they will fall into casual sex situations. They will find a good partner very early in their life. They'll never have a problem in terms of attracting the right person who cares for them. Why? Because the mother or the nurturing energy has given them that type of love. Then once the child grows a little bit, they used to send the child to the father. The child would sit in the father's business or the shop or whatever the father's work is. They would learn it. They would learn the skills at a very young age. Very, very young age, they would start learning the skills. And then they would be sent to the Gurukul, to the Guru. The parents would literally not say, oh, it's my child. How do I live without my child? Oh my God. Now, what is the problem in today's world? The parents send the child away from them too early. Just at a small, little tender age of 3 or 4, the children are sent to school. Half of the day they are in the school when the parents are making money or doing other things, and by evening time the child comes and they are loaded with homework, loaded with the pressure of examination, loaded with all of these serious issues of life, that they need to compete with others, they need to score marks, they need to get some kind of a grade, and there will be envy, there will be jealousy, there will be competition, all of that will be there. And then in today's world, there is all this narcissism also. And this type of upbringing, when a child goes through it, they don't know who to love and how to love. They look at a person, they look at a person's image. It's mostly looks. If you ask a lot of divine feminines, one of the things they like about the masculine, looks will be in one of the top 3 numbers. Top 3, or either 1 or 2 or 3. Why? Because they find him to be so handsome or so attractive, so delicious, I would say. They feel that this is the only person I'm sexually, or if not sexually, romantically attracted to. But actually, that is not the right thing to do. So what they will do is, they will put that person on a pedestal. And they will literally pray to that person. They will be obsessed with that person. And obsession is a mental disorder. If you're obsessed with a person, you are mentally ill. Because then you are not in your senses. You can't see the person's flaws. Even if the person is treating you badly, even if the person doesn't care for you, even if the person doesn't call you, message you, doesn't do anything for you, but still you have put the person on pedestal because you find that person to be so attractive towards you. Not towards you, like you are attracted towards them. You have no idea about their qualities. When the feminines do inner work, when they get into ascension mode, that is the time they realize that this person is doing very negative things to me. This person is treating me so badly, or this person is an absent figure. Some of the feminines, they don't have father figures in their childhood, or their mothers are narcissistic, hardcore narcissistic. So their whole life goes into pleasing them or being with adults who are absent figures. They are not there for the child whenever the child needs them. And this is the reason why when they fall in love, the person they fall in love with is also absent. This type of absenteeism creates a vacuum in the life of a person, of any person. Because you love a person, but either they are never there for you, they are like ghostly figures or ghost, or if they are there for you, they are normally only on the phone. They don't act as a provider for you, they don't do anything for you, but they'll always message you. And I'm talking about people who are in contact, because people who are in contact also, a lot of them are not happy. They tell me that I am in contact with my DM keeps messaging me. There was a time, yes, I was blocked, but I did my inner work and the DM came back to me and this happened, that happened. And now, even though I talk to him every day or every few days, every 2-3 days, but he doesn't do a single thing for me. Even if I ask him, even if I tell him that do this, or I would really like it if you do it, and sometimes he will commit on his own that I want to do this for you, I want to do that for you. Say the feminine is not talking to him, she has put him on ignore mode or no communication or silent treatment she is giving, and he misses her, or he has some really horrible karmic experiences. During separation, the masculine goes through a lot of bad experiences and he realizes her value, he realizes her worth. So he comes back to her, he says sorry and everything is there. But even when he comes back, he doesn't do much. And whenever he has to do something for her, knowingly or unknowingly, he will not do it. So people who are in contact, they are sometimes unhappy too. Okay, and there is a way to change things. Obviously, I can tell you everything can't be told, on a 30 minutes or a 40 minutes channeling. There are so many areas that one person has to look into. There are so many things one needs to do. There are different types of inner work. Not everyone has to do the same inner work or the same things, because not everyone is going through the same issues. Everyone is going through different issues. Okay, but one thing I can tell you all, whether you take therapy from me or a reading from me or not, it doesn't matter. You can do your inner work on your own also. Let me tell you that also. And this is the reason why I tell people, if you come for therapy to me, please be prepared that you need to do something. You need to make efforts. Please don't imagine that, nothing, I don't have to do anything, everything will happen on its own. We need efforts. Some amount of effort and some amount of awareness has to be put into it. Otherwise, please do your inner work on your own. But if you really want it to work, then you have to increase your devotion. Without you increasing your devotional energies, I am so sorry to say it will never work. And the reason why we do these channelings is to help people who are working on these areas. Because there are so many people in the planet who are working on their own. They are doing their inner work on their own. So they keep learning something new, but they don't know if they've really learned the right thing or the wrong thing. Or they don't feel like somebody is there with me. They feel alone. So these channelings are alone as in lonely. Sorry, not alone, lonely. So when they feel lonely and they come to these type of channels, I don't know other people are doing similar work or not, but when they come to a channel like this and they see, every video there are people are viewing it, and there are some people who are writing comments, although there are also some people who are very upset about certain things. We don't know what exactly is their problem, but they are upset. But they are there. There are people who are in brother chaser dynamic. There are people who think they are a twin flame. There are people who have been in false twin relationships. There are people who are single. They don't want to date anyone, yet they are in twin flame journey. There are people who are married and they are in twin flame journey. There are people who are in long distance relationship and they are in twin flame journey. And there are people of all age groups, all ethnicity, different countries, different states. Oh my God, I am not alone. Sorry, lonely. I am not lonely. I am alone. Being alone is a gift. Let me tell you that. Being in solitude is the most blissful thing that can happen to you, especially if you love your company, especially if you are a devotional person. Because for a devotional person, every day is meant for devotion. They will never have time for useless things, because even mentally they are doing devotion. In their mind also constantly, it's called Mansik Dhyan in Hindi. We call it Mansik Dhyan. Doing meditation with open eyes. Doing meditation constantly. Another name for it is Karma Yoga. You do all your daily chores, you do all your work, but in your head you are devotional. You are devoted to source. When you lack devotion, that is the only time you will put someone else on the pedestal. You will not be able to recognize that they are equally flawed as much as you are flawed. You are also not perfect. They are also not perfect. They are going to make mistakes, and I am also going to make mistakes. Life is to put a balance into things. And in a relationship can only be successful when you learn to forgive other people and you learn to forgive your own self at the same time. If you make a mistake, be very quick to know that it's a mistake and rectify it. That is also love. And when you can do it to yourself, then you can do it to others as well. And then you will also know who are the people who you need to be in no contact with, who are the people you need to give silent treatment to, who are the people you cannot trust, who are the people you cannot depend on, no matter what. Even if you are on your deathbed and they know you well and they say they love you, but you can't depend on them. The only person you can depend on all the time is you. And you will also be dependable only when you are devotional. If you are not devotional person, you will be your own enemy. You will create problems for yourself on a constant basis and you will keep suffering. But if you are a devotional person, you will get the power, you will get the energy from source. See, I am giving you all the secrets. I am revealing everything to you. Now it's totally up to you whether you want to take it or not. Okay? Because if I keep it all with myself, it will start rotting. It will start decaying. It will not do good to me also. Whatever good things you have, you can distribute it for everyone. But when we require to work hard on other people, if I have to give special time to other people, if I have to do private readings or private channelings or private therapy, that's the time when we charge a fees, because we are putting in extra effort. And also we need to be independent. We need to be financially independent. And thirdly, we need to have a mission so that whatever money we earn, it goes into the mission work and it goes into the maintenance of your lifestyle. But maximum should go for mission work, because your lifestyle will also become a mission oriented lifestyle after that. You would not want to buy brands and go into fancy restaurants all the time. Okay, maybe once in a blue moon there is a family occasion, you need to do some formality, you go. But if you are constantly spending money on a very high maintenance lifestyle, then sorry to say, you are not doing ascension work. You can have one car or maybe two cars, but if you have 7, 8 cars or a fleet of cars, and for no reason, just for show off, then you are not living a life of ascension. I will tell you, go buy a private jet, go buy a helicopter, go buy this, go buy that, go buy a big house. But at least know, why are you buying it? Who are you buying it for? What is the purpose behind it? I am not against wealth. I am not against abundance consciousness, because one of my therapy, one of my key areas to work is to also increase other people's wealth. When we work on the root chakra, we want them to make money, because we really don't want people living in poverty consciousness. If you are living in poverty consciousness, again you are going to put other people on the pedestal. Again you are going to put the masculine on the pedestal, because the masculines normally, they are wealthy. And you will always have an inferiority complex that this man cannot love me, this man cannot marry me, or this man cannot be with me because he's so rich and I'm so poor. I cannot even afford a reading, and look at him, he has so many cars and so many big houses and bungalows, and he carries all the fancy phones and he carries all the blah blah blah, whatever it is. He is also suffering because his root chakra is not healed fully, because those people who collect a lot of money for no reason or rhyme, even they are unhealed people. He will learn it from the feminine later on. When the feminine gets into the mission work, and he will see that she earns a lot of money and she is very independent, she is financially independent, but she spends it all to help other people, or she is doing something, I don't know what she is doing, but she is doing something. And she is not at all show-offy, she is not at all, like, hey, look at me, I have this, putting, on Instagram or Facebook, putting pictures of how wealthy you are and how affluent you are. She is not doing all of that, what I am doing. I am constantly talking about sports cars or fancy cars or this brand or that brand or blah blah blah, but she is not doing any of that. So these are the things they see and they learn, and they want to work on themselves. There are certain masculines who are very, very crazy about being popular or being known. You know, what we see around us in the social media. So social media can also be used for your analysis work, can also be used for your psychology purposes. Because if you look at a person's profile, it will tell you a lot about them. It can. Now, I'm not saying sit and judge everyone. I'm not saying that also. But if you closely look, like if you pick up the profile of the Kardashians or somebody who's like the Kardashians, what will you see? They will constantly be showing their body, they'll be showing their cars, they'll be showing their nails, they'll be showing their lips, they'll be showing their butts, they'll be showing how crazy, wealthy, rich they are. What are the bags they have? They'll have only Louis Vuitton bags and all these Gucci and Armani and Prada and all of those things. These are the things they do to be on the pedestal. They want to be on the pedestal. They need to be on the pedestal. You know. And a normal person goes into these people's profiles, you see that they have 100 million followers, some of them. 100, 200 million followers, some of them. There are so many people who do good activities also. They do charity work also just to be in the limelight. They are also not correct people. So for the divine feminines, she is going to definitely learn a lot if she really learns that her struggles, her pain is actually a gift. It was given to her so that she could help other people in future. If she understands that much, she'll not be sad anymore. And she'll forgive and she'll move on. And when she does her mission work independently without the help of masculine, even if the masculine could be a good person at heart, could be a very compassionate guy, he feels really bad for the poor people, but what is he doing for them? Nothing. And I'll tell you one more thing. In these times, in the corona times also, normally the feminines are not scared of anything. They are very hard, difficult sometimes to psychologically mold into what is happening in the society, in the world. They don't care. They live in their own world. They live in their own bubble. Like not a negative bubble, but a positive bubble. They have created their own life and they're living in it. They're not affected by anything. Even if they fall sick, even if something happens to them, they will heal faster, much faster than the masculines. Why? Because masculines are very enamored by the society, by the other people, by the worldly world. They are so stuck in the worldly world that it's very hard for him to get out of the worldly world. His only source of exit from the worldly world is divine feminine. So please understand how powerful you are and how amazing you can be. But for that, you need to look for your flaws. You need to look for all the mental disorders you have in your family tree, and that some of them have come to you. And most of the time, it is the painful ones that have come to you. Like being depressed, being sad, thinking nobody loves me, I'm not worthy for love, I'm abandoned, I'm neglected. These are the painful areas that no one should feel these things. And my dear friends, last but not the least, or one of the most important points of this channeling, the takeaway for you is that only when she learns to put people down from the pedestal and keeps only source on the pedestal, that is the time when the masculine will start realizing that she has also gone through her own share of struggles. Her struggles have not been easy too. I am sitting here complaining constantly. I am sitting here, bitching about her. Bitching is again a wrong word because, I love bitches and I love dogs. Complaining about her, cribbing about her, or getting angry with her that she did not do this for me, she did not do that for me. He will get out of that stupidity. He will start thinking that she has suffered in her life. And this is the reason why she is the way she is. Because she does not want all this drama around her anymore. She has suffered because of the drama. She has suffered because of the abuse. He will automatically become very open to the suffering that she has gone through and the struggles she has witnessed. And whosoever, he, she, doesn't matter, gender doesn't matter, because the masculine energy can be in a woman also and the feminine energy can be in a man also. So all those type of people, they will become open and aware. and they will realize that my feminine or my person, whosoever it is, has gone through a huge amount of struggles in their childhood, in their life, and this is the reason why they are the way they are. And now, after they are healed, they are a much better person. They are much more understanding, patient, compassionate, and at the same time, they are not going to take anybody's nonsense. Why should anyone give you nonsense? And why should you handle the tantrums of psychotic people and narcissistic people, people who think that your only duty, your only role in your life is to only serve them individually. Not even in a community, not even in a group, but just individually serve me. I am the master, you are my slave. That mentality doesn't work. That is a devil mentality, ego mentality. Even God doesn't say, serve me. God also says, I will help you, you serve everyone. You serve all the people, all the other beings who need help. That is the power of God. God will never say, come and bow down to me. It is the devotion that makes you surrender. There is a difference in come and bow down to me, and there is a difference in I surrender to you. Very big difference. So on that note, I am going to close this channeling session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.